Hello party people. Welcome or welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Chiz or Goo. My pronouns are they, them, and I do things on here sometimes. Today, I bring to you the long-awaited DIY video. In order of how it's going to be in the video, I'm going to be showing you how I made this wrist cuff out of a sock. Secondly, I'm going to be showing you how I made these bloomer shorts out of some regular shorts. And then we're gonna see how I made this one-handed top from a regular t-shirt. Fourth, we're gonna see how I made this top from like a jacket that I've had for a long time. And last but not the least, I'm going to be showing you how I made my minion dress from that minion shirt that you've probably seen me wear in a video because I wear it all the damn time. I honestly kind of miss it. Anyways, if you're interested in any of these, I'm gonna put timestamps on each and every one of them. I just wanted to give you a preview and let me know which one was your favorite. Of course, if you end up trying anything from this video and posting it anywhere, please tag me. I would love to see it. Anyways, with that being said, let's get into the tutorials. Okay, starting off with the simplest DIY of the video, we have this no sewing required wrist cuff tutorial, and we start with a sock, and I cut off the part where the sock stops being straight. You know what I mean, like where the ankle thing comes in. And then I try it on and I fold it in half because I don't want that long of a wrist cuff. And I'm sure you can figure this out, but I folded it inside out, and so when I fold it on top of itself, it's the right sides facing each other. And then it comes out to be the perfect size, so now it's time to start decorating. But first, I'm marking it at the halfway point with chalk just so I can know where to stop putting my studs. And also another reason why I'm folding the sock in half is because I don't want the metal backs of the studs to be touching my skin. So I have to put them on the one half and then cover the back of it with the other part of the sock. So I'm just using my dome studs from studsandspikes.com, and I'm also using my grommet maker that I got on Amazon. I'm running out of the grommets and I need to get some more, but yeah. I wanted to give a little demo of me putting on the studs. So on these studs themselves, they have little spike things that go into the fabric, and then you can just flip it over to the other side and use your pliers and bend them in as much as you can so it has a less chance of coming out. Kind of like that. And if you can make it more inside, do that, because I had to redo some of them. But either way, it looks like that from the front, and it's really just a rinse and repeat process. For the grommets, I didn't give a demo on how to use it, but honestly, it's pretty easy. You poke a hole, and then you put the little thing, and then you use the machine and squish it. Very, very technical terms, guys. You have to learn the terminology. But do this totally to your heart's content. This is what I ended up with, and the reason why I even thought about making this is because of this belt that I have and my idea for an outfit, and it really matches the belt super well. I'm gonna get some bronze studs from studsandspikes.com and add to the bracelet, but yeah, it also matches this hat that I have, which is going to be part of the fit. But anyways, moving on to the next one. Next up, we have these shorts that I turned into these bloomer type of shorts, and it was really easy. The problem with these shorts is that even inspired me to do this in the first place is that the crotch is so low. It fits fine around the thighs and the waist, but the crotch is so fucking low. I don't know why. And when I sit down, it has a risk of flashing everybody. I'm wearing shorts underneath. But look at that. Look at how much fucking excess fabric is there. It's so weird. This is the front of the shorts, by the way. It's not the back. The back is even worse. But anyway, the idea here was just to take some elastic and attach it to the bottom of the shorts so it doesn't peek out as much. And it worked pretty well. So the way I measured the elastic was I literally just wrapped it around my leg and where I wanted it to be on the shorts. And I didn't stretch it out or anything because I don't like when things are super tight. And I just measured it, cut it, and then I cut another identical piece for the other thigh. So now the next step is just to sew it on. And I really just wanted to ask everyone, like, what do you guys do while you're sewing or crafting? Like, what keeps you entertained? Because I usually have a comfort show on. Right now, I'm watching Girlfriends, and then I always like to have a Overwatch stream on. I honestly don't really listen to a lot of music in my spare time, but sometimes I like to have music on. But anyways, I just folded the elastic in two, so I have like four or three edges. So the left, the middle, and the right. So I pin the left side to one edge, the middle to the middle of the shorts, like that hem in the middle, and then the other side to the other edge. I don't know if that made sense, but then I just sew it along. Nothing difficult. And I didn't even try them on because I was so confident they would fit. And now I'm just decorating. I put these buttons on, and I also put a patch on, and then a like little ribbon thing that I made into a bow. The ribbon thing is like, you know, those things that they put on like your clothes when you get them so you can hang them up. They're like on the sides by the armpits. I just made it into a ribbon and I sewed it on. And this is the final look of the shorts. I did end up taking off the buttons because I started to not like them. But now looking back on the video, I feel like I should have kept them in. So you guys let me know what you think, if you like it better with the buttons or without. It's really easy if I want to add them back. So I didn't really have a problem taking them out because literally they're just buttons. But yeah, let me know what you think. Also, shout out to the new tattoos. If you watched the last video, you know all about them. Here's Hambo. And Hambo says hi. Now we have the tutorial for this t-shirt that I turned into this one-handed top. This one is probably the most highly requested because I posted it on Instagram and a lot of you were asking. So here it is. So I started with this t-shirt and you can see how it fits my body. It's not necessarily like so tight, but it's kind of my size, which is probably ideal. In terms of what you want to start with, of course, if you're like better at sewing, you can start with anything and it will still turn out how you want. The top is also kind of stretchy. So the first line of action was to make it like tight on my body. At first, I had tried using a shirt that fit me already and I just marked it along the shirt I was trying to sew. And that didn't work as well as I had hoped. I've seen people do this online and I thought it would work for me, but it didn't. Anyways, I had still sewed it and then I tried it on and saw that it didn't fit. But then I tried it back on inside out so I can like mark the chalk while it was on my body and like it not show from the outside. So another hack, turn your stuff inside out, try them on inside out when you're trying them on and making marks on them. So this is the shirt after I'd sewed it along the new lines and it fits a lot better. There's still a little bit of like rough areas and the left side is like tight. So that's going to be the sleeve that I cut off to make the one-handed top. So to find out like the shape and everything of it, this is what I recommend. It's literally the best. Literally just put it on and mark it. If you're making it for yourself, of course. If you're making it for someone else, you probably can't do that and you have to get a lot better at making stuff for yourself first anyways. So after marking it, I literally just cut along those lines. No big deal. And when I tried it on, it was perfect. Haha, just kidding. It looked so terrible. I went back in and seam ripped there like by the armpit, and then I also made another stitch like along the left side to make it fit better. And voila, I loved the fit. I loved how everything was looking. I liked the slope of the sleeve. And when you get to this point, you're basically done. It's really easy. It's literally just making a top fit you and cutting it. And if you have a top that fits you tight already, just cut it. It makes it all the more easy. Anyways, it's all just like decorative stuff now that I'm thinking about. Initially, like my initial plan in my head was to add like a skinnier sleeve on the other side. So to have it be like one hand is the sleeve and one hand is like a strap. And honestly, it would have been kind of cute. In hindsight, I kind of wish I did it because it was really cute, but I did not. So anyways, anything from here on out is totally up to you. This honestly is the fun part, getting to decorate the thing you made. So I decorated by sewing on a patch, putting like a lace bow, and then I put some studs along like the neckline, I guess you can call it. And that was pretty much it. I was just going to give some tips for like the things that I did. So I definitely recommend putting your decorations on while you're wearing it if possible, especially if you're using a sewing machine, because like if you're sewing stretchy fabric, it's really hard to like get the patch to be where you want it to be. So pinning it while it's on your body is cool. And then also for the studs that I put on, I used chalk to mark it. I didn't really measure if it was like equal or whatever, as long as it looked good to me. Like if you're looking at it and it doesn't look off, then perfect. And then I also like made the bow, and then I checked where exactly I wanted to put it on the top while I was wearing it. This DIY was super fun, and I like didn't expect it to turn out this good, honestly, when I was like envisioning it in my head. But I'm happy I finally did it, and it turned out fucking amazing. And you are looking at the final results styled with the shorts that I made earlier. Next up, we have this jacket that used to be my main patch jacket, but then I got a better one and took all the patches off and transferred them. And then it sort of became a jacket that I would cut pieces off to make patches, and so it's got a lot of missing pieces. One sleeve shorter than the other. The back is missing a whole piece. The button on the top isn't there. And also from where I took out like the circular patch on the sleeve, I had used fabric glue and it left a really tough mark, so I got to figure out what to do with that. And I had some ideas. I knew I wanted to make it a short sleeve top, and I also knew I wanted to crop it to be shorter. This is sort of a unique situation because I don't know how many people have a jacket that's in this same position, so it's not going to be really a tutorial. It's going to be more like a process. So I started with the part that I was sure of, which was making it short sleeve and cropping it. And in order to crop it, I had to seam rip the pockets off since I wanted to reuse them and didn't want to just cut them. And I also took that button off so I could put it like for the first button. So everything worked out perfectly. And I have to add that tailor's chalk, #1 DIY essential. I wish I had got my hands on some sooner. And that aside, I wanted to make a video that was giving like tips on how to start DIYing and showing my DIY essentials. And tailor's chalk would definitely be on there, but let me know if you guys want to see that video. Now it's time to do surgery on the top. So basically I just cut off some fabric from the parts that I cut off already, and then I'm just using it to patch up that hole in the back. And I pinned it on and I sewed it, and here is what it looked like. So now we have our framework. It's time to decorate. So I'm going to put one of the pockets on it, and then I'm also going to put some soda tabs on that sleeve part with the round glue mark. I also added some other details that I didn't film because I was kind of just like doing it on a whim and I didn't want to set up my tripod and stuff, but they're really easy and you'll see what I did. So this is the final result. I didn't want to add so many patches and stuff. I wanted it to still be a shirt that I could wear to work. I think the little plaid heart that I decided to put on the collar was so cute. It's such an awesome choice, and it also makes it go better with the skirt. And also the little stitches going down the like dart on the right side was so cute. But yeah, here it is in all of its glory, and I really love it. Last but not the least, we have the minion top turned minion dress transformation. This was the original plan that I drew up on paper, and I ended up mostly sticking to it, but you'll see. So first, I'm working on the body part that has the graphic on it, and I'm just like chalking it down my sides, and then I sew it together to see if it's gonna fit. This isn't really a problem with this specific project, but when I'm cutting, I try to make sure to get as big chunks of fabric cut out as possible since I'm gonna be using it for the skirt part of the dress. It still didn't fit me too well after sewing, but it was okay. I ended up adding a seam at the back, and it made it fit better. Not necessarily the way that I wanted, but it fit a lot better. So here's how it was looking. I used my chalk to mark like how thick I wanted the sleeves to be, and then I started working on the sleeves. I guess it's kind of sleeveless. I don't know what to call these, the straps. Anyways, I used the sleeves of the shirt that I cut off before, and I used them to make these straps, and they ended up being too thick, but I figured out a way around it to get it to be the way that I wanted. So once I got them to the right thickness that could fit through the D-ring, another thing I wanted to do was to have them kind of taper off, so kind of be in like a triangular or trapezium type of shape. So what I had done was just fold each like part of the strap over each other like you saw in the video, and I sewed it down so it wouldn't move. And then I attached it to the shirt with just a zigzag stitch, and I just attached it right on top because I want it to look DIY. I know some people who make stuff at home like it to look like they bought it at the store and like it's really well made and clean, and I respect that. It's just really not what I'm going for. Anyways, I did the same thing for the other sleeve, and after that I attached some chain that I got at the craft store. This really cool chain I got at Joann. It's like a double jump ring chain. It was kind of hard to pull apart, but I eventually figured out a way to do it easier. But anyways, I just attached it to the D-ring. And after that, I decorated the sleeves by adding some studs and some grommets. You know how it is. Oh, I forgot that I added a clasp onto the end of the chain. Yes, I added a clasp. Okay. And then decoration time. And this is what it was looking like. I honestly really loved it as a top, but I had to commit to the plan. I already drew it out, so I had to do it. So I took the bottom part that I cut off from the shirt, and it was actually the perfect size for me to gather. So to gather, you just kind of make a loose stitch and then pull on the threads really tight. Or not really tight, but you pull on the threads, shift the fabric like I'm doing. It's kind of hard to explain, but I'm sure there's tutorials on YouTube, and it's easier if you have elastic. You could just use elastic. That's the size that you want. That's what I would have done, but I didn't have any at the time. So I gathered it and I sewed it on top because, like I said, I want it to look DIY and not professional. And then at the bottom, it was looking kind of plain, so I took 3 layers of lace, one short black one long black one, and then this blue lace that's kind of in the middle. I've had this blue lace for a really long time, like over a year, so I just wanted to put it to use so bad. And once I was done with that, I was pretty much done with the dress, and this is what it ended up looking like. I still have it as a dress, but in my head, I'm like solidified and committed to cutting it back into a top because I feel like it looked better that way. I think it's kind of awkward length, but honestly, it's kind of cute though. But I don't know. The original plan was for a dress, so I'm kind of like biased and don't really want to cut it, but I know in my heart that it looked better as a top. And I'm going to repurpose the skirt part to make a similar thing with a different top. I have an idea and I'm going to add more layers, and I think it will be cuter anyways. So yeah, with that just about completes this DIY video, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this style of video. There's a lot of tutorials in one. So as usual, give me your feedback. I don't know if I was going slow or fast. Sometimes I'll listen back to it and I'll think that I'm slow, but I get a lot of comments telling me that I go too fast. So please give me feedback. Let me know which one was your favorite. If you made it to the end, comment this emoji. And just know that I really appreciate you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.